Hey guys, Adrian here for the Digital Dojos, and today we're going to be going over a recap of what happened over at WWDC. Now you can hover to what you're seeing right now on the screen is the full WWDC overview I did, and you can hover to digitaldojos.com to check that out, or the link below in the video description to check out my full overview and post. We also did a live stream, myself and Duncan, our mobile phone 2003 covering, so you can hover to our Ustream to see some of our thoughts initially. So, WWDC was a worldwide developer conference, and it all covered three main topics. Number one being OS 10 Lion. Now, this is the first thing we saw. Basically, we just saw a demo of what Lion had to offer. Nothing too much, just kind of showing how they're kind of adding finishing tweaks, finishing some bugs. There's going to be over 250 features released in OS 10 Lion. It's going to be an upgrade, kind of like how it was from Leopard to Snow Leopard. But OS 10 Lion focuses on unifying your mobile, your iPhone, your iPad, and your Mac all in one kind of, the same unified software where you have the Mac App Store so you can get apps, and you can have that the interface you're used to on your mobile platform, kind of on your desktop with the multi-touch features. One new thing will be called Launchpad. You can see here, this is one of the new main features that'll be added kind of like your home screen if you're used to your initial home screen on an iPad, where you can see your main applications you want to launch. Mission Control is going to allow you to overview over all your apps. It's also going to allow you to look over your dock, your wallpaper, expose, your dashboard. It's kind of taking all of that and putting it into one big place for you to kind of congregate and look over everything. Now, again, they have a video here that you guys can check out for some of the gestures they showed back in February, I believe. But you can also check over. Basically, they just showed the four finger swipes, two finger, back and forth, all that stuff. They also released a price point. We are now going to be having a same price that Snow Leopard was at $29, so a $30 upgrade for OS 10 Lion. This is going to be focusing not as much as the speed as Snow Leopard did. We're focused really on speed. We're going to be looking at mainly, those new features, the unifying of these new gestures that we're used to on our iPhones and iPads, and kind of having a all-in-one way for our iPhone, iPad, and Mac OS 10 to kind of congregate together. Yes, there is going to be some definite speed increases. There's going to be some bug fixes, and again, a huge list of 250 plus features coming out for Lion, which is going to be said to be released. The developer issue went out today. I believe it's going to be released in late July. Yeah, I'm pretty sure late July is what they said. So around that time frame, we'll be seeing OS 10 Lion released on sales. Now, the big thing I want to talk about, iOS 5. The iPhone and iPod and iPad got a big overhaul update. Now, I know I didn't get to cover one of the things I predicted did come true, and that was notifications. Notifications. There's a new thing called Notification Center, which allows you to view all your notifications in one look. As you can see here on this picture by Engadget, you kind of have your messages, your score center, your phone, your missed calls, Facebook, and any other apps like MLB and stuff like that, all kind of bunched up in one place, so you can see when you get new notifications. It's much better than your dull interface with just the little notification pop-up. Now, this picture goes over the main things I talked about. Notifications. They also talked about the iBooks magazines, that they're going to be adding magazines to the iBook store now, so that'll be added. Twitter is now built into the iPhone, so you'll be seeing Twitter. You can just go into your settings and integrate that, so you get tweet notifications. You can also reply, etc. So Twitter will be tied in. Along with that, you can do location awareness will be tied into your Twitter. You can do all that stuff. So basically, Twitter is now built into the phone. There's still going to be third-party apps available, but Twitter, you can go into your settings, your general settings now, and hook up your Twitter account, and you can also tweet via the camera app right away to tweet out a picture. Safari also got some updates. Safari has new tabbed browsing in the iPad, and they said that there's also a way for you to, let's say you're viewing on the iPad, you got to get on the go, pick up your iPhone, and pick up kind of like a sync-in feature where you can kind of pick up on all those websites and where the article you didn't read off on. The Remember or To Do app that Apple releases, basically like a reminder app, basically, a simple to-do list, an easy way to remind yourself that also ties in. Basically, it's just a reminder app tied in with iOS. Camera-wise, they did add some new camera. They added a new screen shortcut, as you can see here on the home page. You can, next to the unlock button, there's a tiny button that automatically you can click to go straight into camera mode. And it also enables the volume button right here to act as a snapshot. So let's say you're holding a picture up here like this, you can just click the volume button and take a picture, something that was familiar in an app called Camera Plus but was taken away. So now Apple's default camera app will have that. They also added pinch to zoom functionality within the camera, and AE, AF are autofocus capabilities. Basically, you just instead of traditional hold, you just tap to kind of have that autofocus lock in, so it doesn't automatically try and pick other places to focus in. One of the big things they also did is called wirelessly free. So now we are PC free syncing. You no longer need, as soon as you get your new iPhone out of the box, you no longer need to plug it into iTunes. You just slide to setup. iTunes is a thing of the past as far as you plugging it in. Now, as for music and stuff like that, that wasn't really talked about. But as for activating, you can activate right on the go right when you get it. And there's going to be a wireless syncing capability available with your compatible with iTunes and the iPhone and other devices. So that's a pretty big one. Also, they are talking about a new app that they also developed, iMessages. Now, this is essentially a messaging app for iOS devices. Basically, you're going to see all iOS devices, iPad, iPhone, and iPod Touch will be getting this thing called iMessages, where basically you can text other people on iOS devices, whether it's an iPod texting an iPad, so long they are on Wi-Fi or 3G, an iPhone texting another iPhone with no cost, no carrier costs and stuff like that. It's free. Very similar to apps like Ping, text free. But not only can you do chat, you can do, I believe, group messaging. I believe they said something about audio and video as well. It will be integrated later on. So it's an all-in-one messaging client for specifically iOS devices. So this is kind of locked down, but they are kind of unifying again all the devices so you can contact each other. Game Center had some new updates as well. iPad received a new split-in-half keyboard for people who like to type with their thumbs. I don't have my iPad here. It's actually charging over there, so I can't pull that to show you. Now, next and last, they talked about iCloud. iCloud is Apple's new all-in-one sync tool, and it's going to be replacing MobileMe. MobileMe's usual $99 subscription is now going for free. It's now totally free. You can manage your audio, your video, your pictures, and contacts and calendars. Everything automatically happens, Apple claims. It syncs all of that data from on your device, your iPod, your Mac, your iPad, your iPhone, to the cloud. Now, quote, they said, iCloud stores your content and wirelessly pushes it to all your device. iCloud is integrated with your apps. Everything happens automatically. Now, you can happen to have up to 5 iOS devices registered. Now, they said that you can, let's say, you never had that issue where you buy a song and, it's on one device, you sync it to your iPhone, but you bring your iPod Nano and you totally forgot to, or your iPod Touch and you totally forgot to sync it with, your iPad. Now, with this, you can be able to, or even your Mac, let's say you're on the go and you want to listen to that song on your Mac, you can go to your cloud and receive it and wirelessly stream it. Streaming is another thing I could talk about later on, but you can receive it through the cloud, through iCloud, and I think you have the option or availability to up to 5 iOS devices. Now, obviously, this is only going to work with devices that have Wi-Fi or 3G capability. Calendars will also be able to be integrated so that everything will update and sync through multiple devices if you update one event. Same thing with contacts and stuff like that. So basically, a place for you to keep everything, all your data in one place for it to be synced and capable of reaching anywhere that you have an internet connection. You can also now back up content through this iCloud service. They allow you to back up your camera roll. That would be photos and videos, device settings, app data, applications themselves, music, books, and all that jazz will be able to be backed up into iCloud. I believe you get a 5 gigabyte limit, not counting your photos and videos do not count into that. They had some explanation. They also have document syncing for the iCloud, so you can sync up documents. This is good for business. And now let's say you have a song that you did not purchase via iTunes. Now there's a new thing they released called iTunes Match, which will be, I believe they claim $25 for this. I'm not sure if I think it's $25 for a year. Yeah, basically you can use CDs or stuff that you've burned via iTunes. And what iCloud will do if you pay this $25 fee, it will match up. Yeah, this is the iTunes Match is the one where you're limited to 5 gigs of data. My bad. Basically, it will match up those songs that you've burned off CDs and stuff like that, and it'll find it on iTunes and it'll upgrade your content to 256 kilobits per second, which is a higher quality audio format. Now that's one of the big things iCloud does. Anytime you put a song in there, it'll automatically upgrade it to 256 kilobits per second, which again is a higher quality format. And again, this allows you to do it for 5 gigs of data. Now, a lot of people are speculating whether or not you can trick iTunes into kind of getting your pirated music on there. It's yet to be said. You would have to pay $25 and you would get high quality versions, and you would be able to access it anywhere and stream it via iCloud. This is kind of where Lala came in when they bought the company Lala. this is where that streaming service will be coming in. So my overall thoughts on iOS 5, iCloud. I think iOS 5 was looking great. They added a lot of stuff they needed to. Really, what they looked like they did, they kind of looked out there where a lot of stuff looked very similar. If you're a jailbroken user, it's nothing new. But it's just great the fact that Apple has added their own touch and added it by default into the iPhone, iPad, iPod Touch. So we don't have to really worry about getting those when you're jailbreaking. And for some people, they won't even have to jailbreak because they have these new features available. I think Apple needs to look more into the jailbreaking side and see what they have to offer and kind of more and more put that in by default. They really aimed at taking features that are already out there and made by popular third-party apps like TextFree and stuff like that, and integrated it in by default and or provided the service to do it, like iCloud. So I think this they're more and more, obviously you're gonna see that Apple grasp where they kind of lock you in, but at the same time, if they can take out the competition while providing it by default, you may think it's bad because text-free and all those other apps kind of lose their popularity because it's now there by default. But in my opinion, if it's there by default, you don't have to go out and download it. It only makes the device that much better. It makes it that much more less of a pain on the user, the common customer, to go out there and download any A through Z, whatever app it may be. So I think iOS 5 is looking great. OS 10 OS 10 Lion is also looking awesome. Not much was talked about there, to be honest. They did a lot of demos. And iCloud is something I definitely want to try out, and I'm gonna look into the iTunes Match feature as well. So, anyways, guys, Adrian here for the Digital Dojos. You can check out this full post over at digitaldojos.com or click in the link description below. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Anyways, guys, I will catch you guys in my next video. Don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, guys, because this really helps out because it takes a while to edit these videos. So, it takes only 1 second to give that thumbs up. Thanks a lot, guys, for watching. Please subscribe, and I'll catch you next video. Whoa, there.